Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Max Capital here with Wall Street Institute and Company. Joining you today for another episode of Tuesday's Technicals. So today we'll be going over a couple of different markets or asset classes. We'll look at the dollar index. We'll look at Aussie dollar. We'll look at US30 on the equities market. We're also going to look at US oil and one bonus asset. So as usual, before we begin everything, we start with our fundamentals, economic and political news events that may affect the markets. So on our headlines, we have Japan factory activity shrinking, the least in 8 months. So this has been the lowest we've seen in the last 8 months, and the Japanese yen has been really weakening over the past few weeks, especially last week. We saw the JPY really push upwards. Same thing as the USDJPY, and oil extends fall as US stockpiles jump. So we have oversupply of oil in the US, hence the crude oil or WTI futures fell to $81 per barrel. We also have Japanese shares falling on Wall Street ways. So the Nikkei, it is correlated to most of the equity markets in the US. So it has also shown some relatively significant losses also based on the manufacturing data that came earlier on this week. Australian house prices rise for the 15th straight month. This is really negative news for the Aussie dollar. Let's look at Korean export. They grew strongest in the 3 months. So Korean stocks and probably, they're really doing well. US futures edged lower ahead of Federal Reserve policy decision and the Dow fell by 0.1%. We are going to look at the Dow Jones, S&P probably as well. US employment costs rise more than expected. So what is this saying, this being an NFP week? So if US employment costs rise more than expected, it is highly anticipated that we're going to see a very low or a very high number of people filing for unemployment, because if it's costing companies a lot of money to hire people, then they would rather, because companies are always concerned with their bottom line, so they would rather cut down on employment. Now let's look at our let me try to change this time here. Our forex factory calendar. Oh, it's perfect. Let's say the GMT +2. So back to the calendar. What I need to do here is filter out. I need to be focusing on red folders only, or maybe an orange. So apply filter. So now I'm focusing on high impact news only. So on Monday, we had the euro, German preliminary CPI on the euro. It came less than the actual, which was higher than the previous value. For me, this is positive news for the euro going ahead. So Tuesday, what happened? We had manufacturing PMI from China, which it is about about 50 points, which is good, but it's less than the previous value, as you can see. We've also have Canadian news that came out on the GDP of Canada, which was 0.2%. Really dropped from the previous 0.5%, and it was anticipated to come out at 0.3. So this is negative news. For GDP is a really big influence for when it comes to the economy. Consumer confidence came out on the US yesterday, and it came out negative 97, way less than, I think 6 points less than the previous value. So going forward, today being a Wednesday, we should expect a lot of high impact news, especially from the US. As you can see, you have non-farm employment change, we have final manufacturing PMI, ISM manufacturing PMI, job jolts. So expect the US dollar to really move today. So that might be the catalyst that will get us to where we want to go. So we'll be paying attention to the dollar index. We have FOMC statement coming out. So it's going to be a busy day today, being a Wednesday. I know this is supposed to be Tuesday's technicals, but better late than never. On Thursday, we have news coming out on the Swiss franc, on the CPI, unemployment claims from the US and Canada. Canadian Bank of Canada Governor McClain will be speaking, and investors will be paying attention to that to gauge the future and the current strength or weakness of the Canadian economy. Friday, biggest trading event of the month, NFP. So we have average hourly earnings coming out at 2:30. We also have non-farm payroll change and the ISM PMI services. As expected, I said we might be expecting a drop. Apparently here it says we're expecting a drop because this is a previous value. This is the consensus from investors. So the planning that we might get a value lesser than the previous one, but we'll see. Unemployment change is expected to be the same, but news that came out earlier based on trading economics, as you saw, it says US employment costs rise more than expected. So personally, I'm expecting higher numbers in terms of the unemployment. So now let's get into the markets now, start analyzing to find out what's the best place that we can have here. As always, we're going to start on a monthly time frame because we want to follow the higher time frame narrative. If you look at the higher time frame, today is the 1st of May, so we're beginning a new month. It seems like we're bullish, right? We're trading above the open. Once again, weekly time frame. Let us see what's happening there. We are bullish on a weekly as well. On a daily time frame, let us see what is happening there. Daily time frame, we're bullish as well. So yeah, we're gonna keep going down with this. This was to me, this looks like an area of fair value. But apparently, I think this high is weak. We're going to break easily through that. So stepping down to a 12-hour time frame, just to see what is happening. There we go. We have a very nice area of supply over here. Sorry, of demand. So I'll be anticipating that we come all the way to this lows as far as the dollar index is concerned. Yeah, absolutely. Or probably this one's right here. Let me see. But yeah, something like this there. We're definitely going to see 105,700 because I'm expecting the dollar to gain strength, right, and push further to the upside, probably to 106, 107. Yeah, probably 107. There we go. On to the next one. We're going to try to make this as short as possible. So we have now the US dollar versus the Swiss franc starting on a monthly time frame. Once again, we're bullish. Let's go to weekly time frame. We're bullish as well. It shouldn't take you a long time to tell if the market is bullish or bearish, right? There we go. So daily we're bullish as well, and then yesterday we were bullish. So let's step down to our lower time frame to see what is happening. Once again, perfect. I have a nice potential buy opportunity here. So as you can see, this is lining up with the dollar index because the dollar index was basically telling us the same thing. So let me fill this in. So yeah, in this area, we'll be anticipating to be making some buying positions. Fix that. So yeah, there we go. Let's check on 15 minutes or something. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Look at that aggressive push to the upside. This is a sign of the involvement of big market participants. of which they have unfilled orders left here. So we expect the market to push high. So now that the market is going up, the biggest mistake that traders make is that they buy when the market is going up and sell when the market is going down. Very wrong, very wrong. Because if you're buying up here, where are you buying from? Because everyone is buying. So in order for you to buy, you need to see sellers coming in. I'm always going to emphasize that don't throw away the logic that you come up with from whatever sphere of trading that you are coming here with. Let us look at one more from the currencies market. Let us look at Aussie dollar. From the news and that we just went through on, so we're bearish on trading economy shows that we should be anticipating a weak Aussie. So let us look at now the daily time frame. The weekly and monthly, they are both bearish. So let's look at the monthly time frame now. As the time frame, we have this daily time frame, this aggressive push to the downside. I'm interested to see how price reacts when it comes back to that level. So this area right here. So I really believed in this one, but we'll see what happens. Okay, stepping down to the lower time frames again to see where we have a potential entry point. So there we go. Where did we open the week? We opened today's Wednesday. So Wednesday is here. So we opened the week somewhere right here. So perfect. To me, we have an area of supply here. So we had that brief consolidation followed by that strong drop to the downside. So area of supply over there. So negatively correlated. Remember the dollar Swiss franc, what we're expecting is for it to be bullish in correlation, positive correlation to the US dollar. So the Aussie dollar now is negatively correlated, and we would expect it to go the opposite direction as such. So I hope that is clear on the Aussie dollar. Coming up, it is the commodities futures. We're going to look at oil. So let's look at oil. Crude oil, that is. Remember, with Brent oil, we have crude oil. Brent oil is also called UK oil. So now we're focusing on the West Texas Intermediate crude oil futures, which is crude oil basically. So yeah, we are bearish on a monthly. Let us see how things are looking. Forgive me, I've got a flu. My voice might sound a bit deeper. I'm not trying to be sexy or something. Yeah, I've got a flu. All right. And then let's step down to a daily time frame. Daily time frame, we are still bearish on oil. Remember, we saw some was it news on oil that is, yes, oil extend fall as US stockpiles jump. So we have oversupply of oil. Every time we have oversupply, prices drop. And remember, we trade supply and demand. So who else understands that better than us? Right, there we go. Let's step down to the lower time frames now to see what is happening here. So to me, we had this significant push to the downside. That to me is a sign that a major player is involved in this marketplace. And if I look at where we opened this week, so somewhere around here. But yeah, let me step down to another lower time frame to see if there's a potential play there. Absolutely. So once again, big push. So let's look at where did that push start. So that's where our supply is. So on oil, I'll be expecting it to come back up there and push lower. Remember, crude oil, it is positively correlated to the Canadian dollar. So there you have it. US oil bearish, Aussie dollar bearish, US dollar Swiss franc bullish, and the US index is also bullish. I hope you enjoyed this. Now, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, catch you on the next one. Cheers.